In this video, I'm going to talk about how to write a procedure, and because I love burgers so much, this procedure is going to be about how to cook the perfect burger. Ron Swanson also loves burgers. He's a personal idol of mine, so I'm happy that I have his support on this. And in case you're wondering, that is 6 burger patties on one burger, and yes, I did eat the whole thing. So let's get started. First thing we have to do is create our list of materials. So I have to think of everything that I need to do this, so that if someone else was going to follow my procedure and they gathered all the materials on this list, they'd have everything they need to cook the perfect burger. So let's think of some things that I need. I need a spatula. I need a grill, of course. I'm not going to do this on the stove. You can't cook a perfect burger by cooking it on the stove. It just doesn't happen. And then we need a timer. We need burger patties, of course. We need a plate. We need some cheese. And there are tons of other things you could put on your burger, so I'm just going to say other condiments as desired. Now that I have my list of materials, it's time to write my procedure. So I have to think of all the steps that I would need to tell someone to help them cook the perfect burger if they had never done it before and didn't know how to do it. So the first thing you need to do is turn on the grill and check to make sure all the burners are lit. Then we have to turn the burners to the highest setting. And then let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. This will help the grill heat up so that once we put our burgers down, it's ready to go and can cook it as fast as possible. So now it's time to actually put the burgers on the grill. So to do this, first we have to open the lid of the grill, then place the burger patties on the grill, then close the lid of the grill, and then turn the burners down to about halfway between the medium and low settings to keep it from burning too much. And then we just let it sit for 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, next we have to flip the burgers over because we've only cooked one side so far, so we got to make sure that we cook the other side. So to do this, we have to open the lid of the grill. Then we have to use our spatula to flip the burger over. And then if we're cooking more than one burger, you want to make sure that you repeat this step for all burgers that you're cooking. And then we want to let it sit for about another 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, we are getting there. We're almost done. So now we're going to flip the burger again. So I'm going to say repeat step 4. Because if you're just going to do something that you've already done, you can still say it really efficiently by just saying repeat that step instead of typing everything out all over again. But it's not going to be exactly the same, so I still need to add some more onto this. So repeat step 4, but check to make sure that the burger is finished by lightly touching the spatula on the burger. And if it's done, it should sink in about 1/8 of an inch, so barely at all. Okay, getting closer, almost done. So now we are going to place cheese on your burger. And if you don't like cheese, you don't have to do this, but I love cheese, so I'm doing it. Place cheese on your burger, and then let it sit on the grill for another 2 minutes. And this will help the cheese melt so that it's ready to eat by the time you're done. Then remove the burger from the grill with your spatula and place it onto your plate. Then after that, the only thing that's left to do is apply the condiments like ketchup, barbecue sauce, onions, whatever it is you may want. Apply the condiments and bun if you like, as you wish. Then relax and enjoy. Alright, so that is my procedure for how to cook the perfect burger. But I'm not entirely sure that I did a perfect job, so I'm going to check my rubric for designing processes and procedures to make sure that it meets the standards that I want. So if I scroll down to my rubric here, I see that a level 5 for design processes and procedures has a clear and orderly action plan. Orderly means that all the steps are written in sequential order. It's mostly replicable, meaning that for the most part someone could look at it and repeat the same thing on their own. And then it also addresses all aspects of the prompt but has some inefficiencies. So in this case, the prompt is how to cook the perfect burger. So let's talk about whether or not it meets these criteria. Well, for the most part, it's all in order. Everything that I suggested, turning on the grill, turning the burners to highest setting, putting the burgers on the grill, flipping them, checking to make sure it's finished, putting cheese on, and then eating it. That's pretty much all the steps in order that you need to follow. But it does have some inefficiencies. And the first one that I would point out is that I never specify what temperature the grill should be. And if I'm really being like a good scientist, I want to make sure that I have exact measurements as much as possible for everything that I'm doing. So that'd be one way I could improve it, is by saying what temperature the grill needs to be. I also don't really talk about exactly how to light the grill, which could be very different depending on what grill you're using, and kind of complicated actually if you have a certain type of grill. So that could be one way I could improve it as well. Also, another inefficiency is that I don't specify to use the timer at any point. I included a timer in my materials list, but I never mentioned it at all in my procedure. I just said let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And if I was really being detailed, I would say turn on your stopwatch and then stop it after 5 minutes and then do the next step. So that's something you should think about because a lot of your experiments might have timers. And then if you're trying to get a level 6, one thing you might notice is that on the rubric you have to include rationale or explain why you're doing something. So for example, for step 2 here, I kind of explained in words that you're turning it on the highest setting and letting it sit to heat up the grill so that it's ready for the burger to go on and that it will cook it faster. So if I wanted a level 6 in my procedure or even a level 5.5, I would explain that in the procedure. I would add a little thing that says this is why I'm doing this for a few different steps. So in this case, my procedure would score at a 5, but wouldn't be good enough to get a 5.5. But anyway, the key points for writing a good procedure are make sure it's in logical order, make sure that it relates to your objective, to the thing that you're trying to do, make sure that it's replicable or gives enough detail that someone with no background knowledge could do your experiment just from reading your procedure. And if you do those things, you will create an awesome procedure.